to BizChicks TV. We're here to help you take the hassle out of your hustle so you can build a profitable business that's fun to run. Here are your hosts.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to BizChicks TV. Those of you watching live and on the replay, I'm Terralina from BizChicks, and I'm here with our co-host of the day, Miss Robin Shimizu, all the way from Sacramento, California. Hi, Robin.
Hi, Terry.
So,
How are you this morning?
All is well.
Good.
I just want to give a welcome to everybody watching live and on the replay. Oh, we love healthy habits, Robin, and we really enjoy hearing from you. What do you have for us today?
Okay, so we have been trying to, this year, we're talking about a lot of things, but controlling our stress and how bad stress is for our overall health, right? So we were talking to Lawana about journaling and Maureen about meditating and all of these great things. And, some people find it hard to meditate. If you're going to just start out in a new practice. So there's an article I found that says, I tried meditating, but I can't quiet my racing thoughts. What should I do? And I feel like this person myself, even though I really try and have been for years to meditate. It's not an easy thing for me. And I imagine it's not easy for a lot of people. So she says, what should I do about this? And the woman who wrote the article is a yoga instructor. And she says, as a yoga instructor, I fall in and out of my own meditation and my yoga in my own practice.
Really?
So So she's saying the first thing to do is try to reframe what meditation means to you. So first, take off the pressure. Meditating can be transformative, as research has shown, but putting that expectation on its right foot from the gate is what she's saying is really important, because it can be intimidating. Instead, look at meditation simply as a break or an excuse to slow down for a few minutes. And I like that. It's kind of like we're going through a day and something stresses you out. You've got to stop and then kind of breathe through that stress, whatever it is, to help eliminate it during the day. So that's what we don't do enough of, is stop and kind of regroup. So she's saying, just breathe. Breath is the most accessible tool that we can use to calm ourselves down and during the day. It can be done in your car, your office, at the stove. It could be done anywhere. And what do? You just take 5 breaths and count each of these breaths with your fingers. And you just breathe in one at a time. And then you just breathe out one at a time. Just slow your breath down. And this should take about 60 seconds. So just breathe.
Okay. So what are we doing? We're going one in and one out?
Yeah. Just take 5 breaths, count your breaths with your fingers. Use your pointer fingers to point and breathe in and out. Lift your second finger, breathe in and out. Lift your third finger, breathe in and out. So you go. You do it 5 times, and it should take you 60 seconds to do that. And she says, if you want to do it slower, then take 4. Just breathe, basically. Slow down.
And like she said, slow the breath down, but be very deliberate about it.
And then she says, it doesn't require you to sit still. Meditating doesn't always require you to be sitting still or lying down. Some people find it easier when they're moving. So yoga or stretching is a good way to practice meditation. Just quiet your brain quiet your mind when you're doing stretching. Just stretching. Kind of clear your thoughts and breathe during your stretches or through your yoga. And then there's these I thought were really helpful. There's walking meditation. As you walk, you count your steps. You're stepping 5 steps as you inhale, then 5 steps as you exhale. Count your steps while doing this breath work can focus you're basically meditating. So you steps. And as a little girl, this is another one. So nature meditation.
Okay.
while you're outside walking or sitting at the bench park, under a tree, or in a picnic. Focus on something in nature that catches your eye. Maybe it's a bird or flower or a tree. Laser focus your mind and hone in on the details. What color is the flower? How many leaves are on it? Can you smell it? Jill has walked us through something like this where you
Yes.
visualize. Yeah. And the last one is gratitude meditation while doing your chores. Now, we can all relate to this. While you're cleaning dishes or doing laundry, use each item you're holding to prompt you to give a gratitude for something in your life. As you wash a towel or a bowl, you think, I am grateful for my hands allowing me to do this chore. Or as you fold a pair of pants, you think, I am grateful for the legs that allow me to walk.
It just makes sense.
Yeah. It's my gratitude journal that I love so much. And as a kid, I used to do a lot of counting. I would count the posts as we're in the car.
Uh-huh.
Count the posts on the road.
Yes. Yes.
And I think that's a form of meditation. Just kind of calming your brain and just,
you focus on one thing.
I used to count my steps. I used to not walk on cracks in the sidewalk.
Yes.
I don't do that anymore. And I think I need to start doing that as an adult.
Interesting. I think the deal is the reframing of what constitutes meditation.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Huh.
Just slow down. And if we do it during the course of the day, we're doing it every day, it's got to be good for our stress levels. Just be more mindful of, we have control over that if we try.
And we know that gratitude reduces stress.
Exactly.
And they say there are 4 things that cause disease, and that's what? Stress, poor diet, lack of water, and lack of rest.
Mm-hmm. Sleep.
So if you have those 4 things in check, you'll live a lot longer. Oh my gosh. Whew. Well, thank you for that, because it does. When I sit down, my mind does tend to wander, and I think, "Oh, am I not? Is it because I'm not focused, or what's going on?" So now I can stop and breathe and recalibrate.
Especially if you're under stress, especially if you're in a situation where you're kind of stressed out, just stop and breathe.
Mm-hmm. Good morning, Dr. Tachi.
Oh, Dr. Tachi.
So glad you're here.
Yes. I want to introduce our guest today. Okay. We have with us Linus Woods Mullins, who we absolutely adore as our coach. So it's kind of I got to read the bio because it's really important.
Okay.
Linus Woods Mullins is a certified holistic living and wellness expert, and for women over the 40, with over 18 years of experience. She is the founder of PraiseWorks Health and Wellness, a mind, body, spirit wellness company that specializes in educating women 40 and over on their wellness. Linus is a certified life coach, health coach, nutritionist, gut health specialist, and social media strategist.
Mm-hmm.
She's a co-author of Power Up Superwoman and editor and publisher of Wellness Women 40 and Beyond e-magazine. She has 2 podcasts, Vibe Living and The Wellness Journey, all of which air on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and 100 other podcast platforms. Vibe Living podcast is rated in the top 8% of podcasts globally. She also has a YouTube show, Linus Minutes, and is signed with a celebrity to celebrate the great agency as an influencer and as a model. Linus has combined social media following of over 200,000, including her Facebook group of Vibe Wellness Women 40 and Beyond, which has over 26,000 members over 40. Okay, and lastly, Linus has recently launched a new membership site, Vibe Wellness Women Network, that offers online courses, guides, challenges, 23 wellness and health professionals with a cumulative experience of over 350 years in health and wellness for women over 40, and a support group for women over 40 who want to take holistic approach to their overall wellness. with that, so Linus has 4 grown daughters, 7 grandchildren, and a husband. So she's got a lot of work on her platter. So with that, let's bring her on. We'd love to see Linus when she's. Yay, there she is.
Linus is muted. Unmute yourself, Linus.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Okay, fantastic. Hey, how are you? Okay,
all is well.
What's going on?
It's great. Thank you.
Okay, good to be here. To talk about something. I think I talk about something. We're just chatting about this right before we came on. And I realized that I did have some research about this because of a client I had who was having some issues with her scalp. Because I was thinking, why do I have this information? And this was about 2 years ago. And it just came out about some of the toxicity around hair extensions. So I wanted to share some further information or share information in case you hadn't heard about it. Just recently, they're beginning to put warnings out about hair extensions and how they are ultimately not that great for our health. My client was experiencing scalp irritation, and she thought it had to do with her what she was eating, because her face was beginning to break out, her skin. But the reality was it was the hair extensions. And she would put her hands in her hair and then her face, and over time. And what happens when you have a propensity to be allergic to something, if you keep using it over time, the allergic reaction gets worse. And if it involves you having to put your hands in that area, you can be allergic in other parts of the body that normally you would not put the product that you're using. And I mean, nobody puts hair extensions on their arms or on their face, but she started breaking out. So after we were just going through we went through her whole lifestyle thing. I do evaluation anyway whenever I get new clients. So finally we got to anything that you're using that is not natural, which a whole list of things, of course, for most of us, right? We finally got to the hair extensions. I said, well, hair extensions, it touches your scalp. I said, what kind and everything else. So I said, well, let me do some research. And I did. So what I'm going to share with you today is the research that I did a couple of years ago. And I just went through an update to see if there's anything new. And the only thing that's really new is that the fact that it's coming out. Okay. Because this has always been the case, is that there are certain chemicals and things on the hair. Even if it is human hair, they treat it so that it lasts for a long time, so that it will respond well to braiding or to heat or whatever it is that you're using with the extensions. And this is just not the extensions that Black folks use. This is extensions that all people use, okay? That can be. Of course, now some of the extensions can be synthetic. They can have heavy dyes on them. They can have formaldehyde-based processing agents. They also have silicone coatings to make them feel silky, at least at first. And of course, they have adhesives, the tape-ins or bonded extensions. Now, the lower quality extensions sometimes undergo chemical baths for preservation or uniform-like coloring. That can also impact your reaction to it. But this does not mean necessarily that they are toxic automatically, but prolonged use, okay, like we were just talking about, prolonged use can cause an issue because the scalp is skin. And the skin absorbs these chemicals over time, okay? So there are some potential concerns. And my client reported that she had scalp irritation. She had an allergic reaction to it. But you can also get dermatitis. You can also have respiratory sensitivity because of the glue that you're building in. That could build up over time. And you think you're having asthma, but actually it's the glue. It's the glue bonding over a period of time of using it that's causing an upper respiratory problem and headaches. Now, synthetic fibers can also shred the microplastics over time. So the bigger issue is usually adhesives and bonding glues, okay, not the hair itself. Now, with human hair, let's talk a little bit about the human hair, you want to try to look for raw or virgin human hair. You want to look for minimal processing, although it will have some. Minimal processing, okay? If you can try to find the human hair that's uncoated and ethically sourced, just like with food and with our vitamins and with our doctors and with our clothes and everything else, it's about sourcing, finding the right source of trying to find the right kind of hair for you. You want to look for hair that has no silicone coating, and looking for transparent sourcing, meaning that, all of this is on the package. There's no hidden stuff that's in there. You just want to make sure that you're looking for as human a hair as possible. If it feels too silky straight out of the pack like that, it probably is not human hair, because it often has some kind of coating. Okay.
Coating on it. Yes.
Another thing you want to do to try to minimize the impact of the chemicals that could be on the hair is you want to wash the extensions before installing them, even the brand ones, and even the brand new ones. Okay. You want to use like maybe a clarifying shampoo, which is what what she did. We decided to do get a clarifying shampoo, and also to use an apple cider vinegar rinse, okay, to try to minimize the impact on her scalp. She was wearing extensions because she had lost her hair because of hormonal issues. So, and wearing a wig was difficult for her. And I understand that. I can't wear wigs. I don't know why it is itch all the time. I can't even do extensions because it itches my scalp. So we went with, okay, let's try the clarifying shampoo and the apple cider vinegar rinse, and see how that is, because that removes all the surface residues and excess dyes. Man, all this stuff is coming back. It's been like 2 or 3 years since I've talked with her, but she hasn't come back, so I'm thinking that she's okay. You want to avoid formaldehyde-based bonding, okay? So those would be things like the keratin bonds, the certain kinds of tape-ins, and there's something called fusion bonds. I'm not familiar with that, but that's what my hairdresser told me, because I called her to ask, because she's really good with this about chemicals and things like that. And ask your stylist directly, is this adhesive formaldehyde free? Okay, don't assume, ask. If they don't know the question, or they look at you like, maybe you have the wrong braider. You want to make sure that anybody that touches your scalp or your hair that's using things that have been coated with chemicals or hair dye or perms, they need to understand what they're doing to you in case you do have an allergic reaction. A great stylist knows a lot about the chemistry of the products that she's using. If she doesn't know that information, I would say you might want to pay maybe $20 more or whatever to find someone who does have that information and who's familiar with it. A good stylist not only knows how to style hair real well, but they should know about the chemical composition and makeup of the products that they're using and the propensity for that to cause allergic reactions. A lot of stylists don't. In fact, back in the day, it used to be you had someone who's really good with hair and really good with chemicals, but not both. You want to look at someone that has both, okay? Especially if you're doing anything that's not natural to your hair when it comes to hair dyes, perms, extensions, all that kind of stuff, okay? Another thing that can help is that you limit continuous wear. The longer something sits on your scalp, the more cumulative the exposure is. And remember, the most absorptive part of your head is in the center of your head. So when you're putting this stuff on, gluing it in or whatever, however you're putting it on, it is impacting your scalp. And that goes, that is being absorbed. But you also have things that are on the top of your scalp as well. That's going absorbed and going right to the brain. Immediately to the brain. Okay. So if you can, give your scalp some breaks, 6 to 8 weeks max, if possible, maybe 2 to 4 weeks for a reset period. And you can also do a scalp detox during that break. You can put a clay mask on your scalp or a scalp oil massage. Ask your stylist or your braider, or even some of your GPs may know this answer, or gynecologists, because here's the concern. As you get older, your body begins to start letting you know that after all these years, it just doesn't want that particular thing you've been using. All of a sudden, you notice that you're having certain kinds of allergic reactions that you haven't had before. And many times it has to do with the hormonal imbalancing that's going on. That's what happened to me. At around 50, I started having allergic reactions to my hair dye. And I tried everything. I ended up in emergency 3 times till my family was like, look, Mom, is it really worth all that? And that's the reason why I went gray. It wasn't because I was making some kind of wonderful health statement, but now looking back at it, it was probably a blessing in disguise. And I was in menopause at that time. So definitely my hormones were going all over the place. You want to take a look at protecting the scalp barrier, okay? And there are some holistic ways to do that. You can use rosemary oil, diluted, okay? You want to maybe combine it with carrier oil, and put it on your scalp, or jojoba oil also to put on your scalp. And you can try like a gentle exfoliation on your scalp, maybe monthly, to try to make sure that any residue from the chemicals that have now are sitting on your scalp, and try to get rid of it. And definitely be careful about the shampoos that you use. Harsh shampoos don't go together with scalp irritation as a result of using this hair. A compromised scalp barrier really increases your absorption. If you have sensitivities, you might want to be extra cautious if you have migraines, okay? If you have autoimmune conditions like we were talking about, if you have eczema or psoriasis, or if you're going through hormonal imbalances. So this is really important for midlife women. If you have chemicals, sensitivities anyway, okay? Because your nervous system may react faster if you have all these sensitivities, okay? There are some symptoms that you might want to take a look at to make you decide you need to remove them right away. And those are burning sensations, persistent itching, rash along the hairline or nape, okay? Unexplained headaches after the install, and also increased shedding beyond normal, okay? Your body will let you know in a whisper. Our body always lets us know what's going on with us. But this will be a shout, okay? So you definitely want to make sure. So the bottom line is that, you want to, your sensitivity can increase with cheap synthetic blends, with heavy glue bonding, with constant long-term wear, and also with poor scalp hygiene, okay? All of that can cause things to happen. You just want to have low tension, low toxicity, and low duration, okay? That would be the trifecta. It really doesn't make sense for people to have their hair in for 2 or 3 months. That is really just not good for your scalp, whether it's impacting you or not. And I know a lot of us do that because it's convenient. It lasts a long time. It still looks good. So, why not? But I have to say what our grandmothers or great grandmothers taught us, all that glitters is not gold. Just because it looks good doesn't mean it's something that's good for you.
Exactly. Now, Dr. Tachi has a comment here. She says, often when we get our hair braided with treated synthetic hair, your scalp will itch because of the reaction to the chemicals used on it. So she says what you said. She says, I make a mixture of jojoba, rosemary, and vitamin E oil for my hair.
Yes, and I would also say for women, who are still going to be wearing these, because I don't think this is going to keep people from wearing them, quite frankly.
I don't think it is either.
But I would say to do whatever tweaking you can do in your lifestyle in general to minimize the impact on the rest of your body, because you're putting something on your head that's toxic. And even though we treat the scalp and everything else so it doesn't cause us problems, the toxicity is there. And over time, especially if you have other situations going on, which is something that we all have, we all go through some kind of form of hormonal imbalance, menopause, okay? And even though you may not see the symptoms, I know people say, well, I went through menopause, but I didn't have any symptoms. Don't have flush in the list. But there are as many symptoms as there are women having them. And sometimes the symptoms don't show up in your 40s and 50s. They can show up in your 60s and 70s. And it can accumulate to autoimmune type of chronic diseases, which is very common. And sometimes it could be because of the accumulated toxicity of the hair extensions that you've been wearing for like 30 years. So.
Dr. Tachi has a question. She says, do you think that detoxing is helpful for people who wear these styles?
I'm glad you asked that question in general about detoxification. The best way to detoxify is drinking plenty of water, Okay, making sure that you're getting rid of all processed foods and eating dark green leafy vegetables. You got to be careful of those detox teas and some of the other potions that are out there. The best way to detox is by whole food eating, not processed foods, getting rid of as much sugar as possible, lots of water, and rest. That will fortify your immune system, and that will get your filtration system going. Now, if you're talking about detoxing your scalp, I mentioned you can do things like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I highly recommend that you take a look at the length of time that you have the braids in your hair and come up with maybe something else that's more natural for a couple of weeks. I know some women are like, oh, I can't imagine not having my braids in my hair. I get it. I do get it. But you have to think about over time, what's most important to you when it comes to your overall health. And that goes also with, we talked about really briefly about the estrogen blockers, and just understand that the majority of the makeup that we put on our faces have estrogen blockers. And as we get older, that can be a real issue because it blocks your body's ability to support you with estrogen. And of course, when you get older, you're not producing estrogen anyway. So you have to make some choices. Like, for instance, I wear makeup when I'm on camera. I don't wear makeup any other time anymore unless I'm going out. Okay. I don't wear makeup at home, so my husband really sees the real me. I don't wear makeup to the grocery store. I do have some kind of expensive makeup that I get from a chemist it has low amount of toxicity and no estrogen blockers. You can get makeup that does not have estrogen blockers, but you got to do your homework to find it. It is not at the grocery store for sure. Maybelline, Revlon, CoverGirl, definitely estrogen blockers, and also almost 100%, I would say probably 95% of the products at the Body Shop, estrogen blockers. So just be aware of that, because you got the estrogen blockers going on with your makeup, and now you're going to add it with the extensions too. You got to make some choices, especially as you get older.
Okay, I have a question.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times we use extensions on children's hair. Children.
I did
Is
that
this
too.
and
I really think that, I'm going to err on the side of caution with that, because, like, for instance, my children, because of what I did to them, because they had hair extensions, it looks so cute, but they had hair extensions, and they also went and had their hair done and everything else, and they had long hair. I did the hair extensions because it was convenient for me, because I traveled a lot. But they're not doing that with their kids. They're just letting their hair just be natural, and they might put some stuff in it to try to activate the natural curl. Sometimes they'll braid it, but they don't add extensions at all, and their scalps are healthy, and they look so beautiful. They look gorgeous. I mean, if you happen to have children of color, let's remember our hair in general is not straight like white folks. Get over it, okay? And so go ahead and teach your child the glory of their natural hair and how to
celebrate that curl.
Yes. That's right. And you can get products to activate their curl, but now we're getting into some interesting territory in terms of the toxicity. But maybe you do that for a special occasion, Easter or a birthday or whatever. But daily wise, all my little grandchildren have these little naturals, or they have their hair in braids. And they're cute. They really are. You really see their beautiful faces and not all this stuff. Now, I do have some pictures of two of my grandchildren who grabbed their mother's wig, because she'll still put that stuff on. She grabbed her mother's wig and put it on, and it was so funny. They look so cute. And I said, I really want to put this on social media, but then I thought, no, because they're crazy people out there. It looked like, Black Joan Benet's, or John, was it Joan or John Benet? They didn't have any makeup on, but their hair was, really cute and everything. So I know we look at it and say, oh, that's so cute, but it's not really good for their hair. And you want them to have healthy hair and healthy scalps, and let them make the choice when they get older if they want to do that. Informed choices. Explain to them, okay.
I find this interesting because Black women do have a high rate of fibroids and things of that nature. And I'm wondering, is this all part and parcel?
It comes from
these things.
The stuff we put in our hair. It can come from the hair extensions. It definitely comes from the stress within which we live our lives.
Yes.
It comes from the eating habits, lifestyle habits. Absolutely. Yes. Now, also, it could be our genetics. But that's where epigenetics comes in, because there are things you can do in tweaking your lifestyle to actually change your DNA over time. We have these things called telomeres. Okay, the telomeres are little hats on the DNA. Okay, and you can actually change how that hat is on the telomere. You can lengthen the hat. Okay, the shorter the hat is, or the shorter the telomere is, the less amount of time you'll be on this earth. Okay, but if you can lengthen the telomere, then you're going to live a longer life. And that all comes to taking a look at what can I do in my lifestyle to tweak things or to change things that I know aren't that great for me. So over time, if for instance you're changing things that might cause the fibroids, over time, your granddaughter's propensity to have the fibroids would be considerably, or have fibroids would be considerably lessened. And also your propensity to have fibroids could be lessened too, because you're beginning to change the trajectory of how the DNA impacts your overall health.
Gotcha. All right. Woo. So, do you have anything coming up?
Yeah, I just wanted to share real quickly, because I know we're out of time. I've redone my website to kind of accommodate for the Midlife Awakening Summit, which was very, very successful. I saw Robin there a couple of times, and I just wanted to point out a couple of things real quickly, if I could show them the website real quickly.
Okay, let me see if I can share that on my screen. Here we are. All right, here we are.
Okay, if you look up and resources, you see where resources are?
I'm looking. I see. Oh, yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Wait a minute. Is that where it is? Oh, no. Work with me. I'm sorry. Work with me. Okay. Work with me. That's where you can get the Awakening Wellness Collection. And that is the edited version of the Awakening Summit. And it's got all of the pertinent information as well as the downloads. And it's really some great information. There were women who were there who were doctors themselves. Themselves that didn't know some of the things that we talked about. And we focused a lot on things from a holistic perspective and not just what's happening with the body. Although we had a gynecologist who started out her talk with apologizing. And she was apologizing because of the huge misunderstanding around HRT and so many women suffering because they were giving out the wrong information. Those are the speakers. Yeah, those are some of the speakers. Why is it formatted like that? That's interesting.
I don't know. I'm scrolling down to look for where they can get the replays.
What you need to do is where it says start your journey, right up there. Okay.
Right here.
You click that right there and start your awakening journey. Okay. And then these are the prices for getting it. And depending on which one you choose, all of them have, except for the all of the ones, all the Awakening Wellness Collection bundles, all of them automatically give you a membership to the website as well, which is really good because we have some great things going on with the website right now. So take a look at it. I'm going to be putting some videos on there so you can get some samples. It's interesting that it's configured differently. Are you on your iPad?
Nope, I'm on my laptop.
It just looks differently on the screen for some reason. That's amazing. The other thing I wanted to point out is that under the Work With Me, I am now doing self-care plans. You see where it says, if you take a look at, where is it?
Private coaching and plans?
Right there. Okay. If you go down a little bit, I have 3 different things that I'm doing right now. In particular, I am doing self-care plans. I'm also doing a personalized 14-day menu planning. The self-care plans have to do with anything around your wellness that you want to make a change on. It's very affordable. I think it starts at $65, and the same price for the menu planning as well. And I do all eating patterns. I meet with you for an hour and a half, talk with you about your lifestyle, your concerns, what your goals are, and then design either the self-care plan or the wellness plan. And of course, I do one-on-one as well. But I try to come up with some ways that people can affordably work with me and get some amazing results. And of course, there's a 3-month personalized wellness journey that I do one-on-one as well. So
there you go. an opportunity.
That's great. Thank you for walking us through that, Linus. That's great.
Yes, we have a membership meeting, and I'm going to send out another email to remind everybody because I want to walk everybody through the site. The navigation is totally different. I've made some major changes, and I'm making the site more of the hub and
Yes.
trying to let go of Linktree, so that it's just just go to my site and then you can get to where you need to go. So hopefully.
There you
That
go.
would be great. So you're going to send that out and notify us that.
Yes.
Yeah, okay,
great. You'll be getting that sometime before Monday. You'll be getting it. Yeah. So.
Wow. Well, Linus, we just want to thank you so much. I learned so much today about this whole hair extension thing.
I'm glad you guys mentioned that. I had forgotten about that client. I'm going to call her sometime today just to see how she's doing. I haven't heard back from her, but I know she's not wearing the extensions like she was, but she had boils on her scalp over time.
Oh my goodness. She really was allergic.
Yeah.
My goodness. I'm glad we visited this today and did not wait. Oh my gracious. Okay, so with that, we want to thank you so much. And we're going to find out from Robin who's coming up next. But before we do that, Robin, did you have a question?
No, I didn't. I just wanted to thank Linus. That was so perfect for us today, Linus. Thank you. You are so good. You're just like off the top of your head.
I've been doing this for 19 years, so my goodness, I should know something by now. I better know something by now.
Oh yeah, we should have Linus talk about this. Maybe she'll know something.
Yeah, exactly. But we just popped this on her right before we started the show.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for your expertise and for your depth of knowledge.
Yeah.
And we'll talk to you soon, Linus.
Talk to you soon.
And everybody, make sure you book an appointment. Okay, we're going to put that link in the chat too for those of you who want to see later how to connect. Thank you, Linus.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
We get Linus back in March.
Yes.
And next week we have Jill Weston with us.
Oh, our stress whisperer.
Our stress whisperer, yes. And after Jill, we have Claudia Newman, and then Linus comes back, and then Lakeisha's with us in March, and then Jill's back with us again at the end of March. So we have a really strong March coming up with everybody. Yes. Well, that was perfect. Thank you so much.
It really was. And I just want to thank everybody who spent some time with us today. I want to remind you that if you'd like to become a part of Biz Chicks, you can do that by simply texting biz to 33777, or you can go to bizchicks.net and join our community. We'd love to share with our community what it is you do and how you serve. And remember, we're here helping you take the hassle out of your hustle. So if you have any challenges with your tech, let us know. That's what we do. We'll help you understand AI, grow with it, and help you save time and money in your business. Robin, I thank you. I really got some information today, as I do every time you come on with your guests, to help me live life better and longer, even.
And longer. Yes.
And longer. I love that. Okay, guys. So with that, we'll see you soon. And remember, we'll be talking tech divas shortly. Have a great day. Bye-bye, everyone.
Thank you for tuning in today. We trust you've learned something to help you build a more profitable business and take the hassle out of your hustle. See you next time.